Hi guys, welcome to the High Council, and today we are going to be talking about the Jedi Master OBI WAN-KENOBI. Firstly, let's talk about some of his base stats without star cards. So basically, his front attack does 130 damage, and his attack from the back does 150 damage. He has a base health of 750 and has a health regen of 300, which means that when he's at 450 health, he can still regen to max health. Obi-Wan has really good stamina, and can attack 10 times before his stamina is fully depleted. He also has a stamina regen of 1.5 seconds, which means after his last attack or swing of his lightsaber, his stamina will regenerate 1.5 seconds after that. Now let's talk about his abilities, and feel free to pause on the ability description if you'd like. Firstly, we have the all-out push, which is activated by LB, his mind trick ability, which is activated by LB and RB, and his defensive rush, which is activated by RB. All good in their own ways. Let's talk about the push. The push has a 15-second cooldown and a max damage of 200 and a minimum damage of 170. The time to charge up the push is 1.5 seconds. The restrictive mind trick has a cooldown of 20 seconds, and it lasts 6 seconds on opponents that you stun with it. The defensive rush does 140 damage to opponents and has a cooldown of 10 seconds. The defensive rush lasts 3 seconds when activated. Now that was a bit of an overload of information, but now let's talk about some of the star cards and some tips for playing Obi-Wan. So I've made 3 sets of star cards for different types of game modes and for other things like that. The first one is one for Hero vs Villains, and the star cards I recommend for that are Perfect Defense, Quicken Focus, and Jedi Resilience. Perfect Defense is really good. It's probably like his best star card in the game because like you automatically get 40% stamina reduction, which is like already OP as hell, combined with his stamina, and also Safeguard, which is another stamina like reduction type star card that he has. You have to work for that, so you don't automatically get it. And sometimes with Obi-Wan you die, and in Hero vs Villains, like you'll die a lot. Well, not a lot, but like you'll die because it's villains, you know. So I recommend Perfect Defense. Second one is Quicken Focus. It's pretty good because it takes 0.5 seconds off your push charge up time, which is very good because it can help you in situations where you don't have enough time. And people won't expect it as much because they'd expect it to be 1.5 seconds, not just 1 second, which is like, yeah, pretty good. And yeah, third one is Jedi Resilience. That just adds 100 more HP to your, not your base health, but your regeneration, your base regeneration, which will now be 400. So instead of regenerating from 450 to max health, it'd be 350 to max health, which is like really good because in Hero vs Villains you won't be able to gain that much health from killing people because I mean like yeah, you'll be able to kill like villains and stuff, but like it's like just pretty useful when you're like trying to escape or retreat somewhere. Also, before we continue, I just want to mention some star cards that you might want to stay away from. I'm not saying that they're bad, but there's other star cards that Obi-Wan has that have much better benefits and buffs. Alright, coming first is Critical Deflection. That one adds 50 increased damage to from blaster shots while your defensive rush is activated. And like, I just don't really like that because your defensive rush already does 140 damage, and then you could add another star card forward which adds 40 damage, so you could one shot normal classes, not heavies, that they still be at 10 health because heavies have 200 health. But yeah, I just don't really find like a use for that star card. I'm not saying that it's like useless, and like if you do use it and you like it, then like you do you, bro, like yeah, it's all good. But yeah, anyway, coming in and at second is Give It All. That star card basically adds 2 increased reach. I don't know what the 2 means, like it says 2, but I think it's like 2 meters. It just adds range, like vertical range to the push, which like is, I guess like you could use that, but there's so many other star cards that are way more useful than that. Like you don't really need that because like the push is already so like narrow, so you don't really need that anyway. The last star card that I would not really use at all is Think It Over. And basically that just adds a 1.40 increase in duration to your restrictive mind trick. And like restrictive mind trick, like it's not really that good of an ability. Like Obi-Wan's abilities, like they're all like alright. Like if you're a good player, like you like a good Obi-Wan player could use all of them well. But restrictive mind trick shouldn't be like your number one priority for playing Obi-Wan. Like your push should be, and your defensive rush should be. Like the restrictive mind trick, like you don't really need any buffs for that. Like it's alright. And also like a 1.40 like increase in duration, like that isn't that great. Like the other one, more doubts, like that has 50% increased reach. Like I guess you could use that, but I still wouldn't really use it. I didn't put it on this list because it's 50% increase. Like that's a pretty good buff, but I still wouldn't even use more doubts. But anyway guys, that's all the star cards I'd really stay away from, and let's get back into the sets. And guys, second set is a one for supremacy and co-op, or like any mode that has heroes, villains, and troopers. And the first card I would use is perfect defense. And in these lists, guys, you're going to see like a lot of perfect defense because it's pretty much like his, like I already mentioned, his best star card in the game. I already told you why like perfect defense is a good star card, so I won't go into it again. Second star card is forward. That one adds 40 more damage to your defensive rush, which is pretty good because its base damage is 140. So if you add another 40, then it would be 180 damage, which is pretty good in my opinion, because then you can one-shot normal classes and nearly one-shot heavies, and it's just like pretty OP in hallways and stuff like that, because you just get like rack up a lot of kills. And third card is quick and focused or safeguard. This one's like up to like your preference. Quick and focus, like I said before, it's pretty good. It's a reduction of 0.5 seconds to your charge up time for your push. Like yeah, it's just pretty good. And safeguard, I didn't like explain it properly. I mentioned it before, but I didn't explain it properly. But basically, you like after blocking 5 blaster shots or 2 lightsaber abilities, Obi-Wan gets a permanent reduction of 2% to all his stamina costs to a maximum of 40%. So basically, if you get hit by a lightsaber twice, you get 2% stamina reduction, and then if you get hit again by 2 lightsaber attacks, then you get a 4%, and it can go all the way up to 40%, which is pretty like good. But perfect defense also, like that's just like a 40 stamina cost reduction, but without like the worry of like having to get shot with a blaster 5 times or getting hit by a lightsaber twice, which both add 2% up to all the way up to 40%. But yeah, and the last one is what I call like block god. So basically like you'll be able to like block for so long. And the star cards, we've all seen them before. Jedi Resilience, I already explained that one. 100 extra health HP to the max regen like thing. And then next is perfect defense, which yeah, I've already explained that twice. And then safeguard, and which I just explained. And all those combined, like together, if you get your safeguard up to 40%, then it's and then that combined with perfect defense is an 80% stamina reduction. And that is honestly so OP. Like, and then Jedi Resilience, like I just wanted to like add like more like tankiness to this build, because like if you do get hit, then you can block and regen that health, like, and it's going to be like increased max health regen, which is like just so good. And all those combined are like really good. In like to use like all those together, I would use them in say like hero vs villains or supremacy. Like you can use it in like pretty much anything. Or if yes, you want to like just go ham and like just block forever, really, you just use that. And yeah, now guys, I have some tips for you for leveling and for hero vs villains, supremacy, co-op, and like all that. Alright guys, so basically in hero vs villains, Obi-Wan is pretty good. He can like handle his own weight. he can like take on like a few enemies because of his stamina, and if you like use the right star cards that like which I mentioned before, like he can be like pretty much like a blocking tank and can like help out the team a lot. Like one thing to just like keep in mind is that like Obi-Wan's abilities, like they're good, but compared to like some other heroes and some other villains in the game, like they're not as good as like though like as them, you know, like. And yeah, but I've got a tip for you for using LB and RB, the restrictive mind trick, for using that ability. If you use it on like a whole bunch of enemies, then it will like help out your team if you're all like together. It's like if it's like a 4v4 or something, like all like both teams are like versing each other at once. Use that so then like the whole enemy team can't use their abilities, which is like pretty useful because they're all just gonna like block, and then like the rest like of your team can use their abilities and stuff, and yeah, it's just pretty good. Defensive rush, I would use that if there's like a few enemies, like just press it and then run like past them, and like it will hit them and it will deal like some damage on them, which is like, yeah, just use that then. And the push, like just like use that when you need to either deal damage, or if someone's running away, get that extra range on in them. And like, yeah, and just like use your stamina to your advantage. Like you have the best stamina in the game, like block a lot and attack a lot, because you can like attack spam pretty much, and then you wait 1.5 seconds and then your thing will come back, your stamina will come back. So just like use that to your advantage, guys. And yeah, let's go on to supremacy and co-op. Alright guys, I think this is where Obi-Wan shines the most because of his defensive rush and his force push. Those two abilities are just so good for racking up kills. Like, it's just like insane, like honestly. I mean, his mind trick ability, like it's alright for like this mode, but it's better in Hero vs Villains. But yeah, the force push is just really good in hallways. Like that can just give you a lot of kills if you like charge it up like to the max, and then it's just long and does 200 damage, which will like insta kill everyone in that hallway and like everyone in its sight except for reinforcements. So yeah, and then the defensive rush, like that's just like really good because like you can just use it in like hallways and like narrow like situations, or like a few enemies lined up, and just rack up like a few more kills, you know. Like it's just like, yeah, pretty alpha and all that. And yeah, use your stamina, like just like I keep on saying this and I know like it's kind of repetitive, but just like use your stamina to your advantage. Like it's so OP. Blocking, like you can just block for so long, like it's just insane. And if you have the right star cards that I've like mentioned and stuff. And yeah, a tip for like leveling up, like if you try supremacy and it's like too hard, or Hero vs Villains and you can't really like get any kills, then I would recommend trying co-op mode, which is what like you see in the gameplay right now. It's just like bots, like a team of 4 players versus bots, and you either defend or attack, and it's just like good practice, and it just gives you so much, like so many levels. Like it's so easy to get kills in this, and it's just like so easy to level up your Obi-Wan and get him, because in supremacy and stuff, like people might beat you to getting Obi-Wan. Like they might be just like better than you. You gotta accept the fact they might be better than you. They might get him like before you. So it might be like hard for you to just like get Obi-Wan. And yeah, also like another tip for XP, like for leveling up and all that, like use the XP bonuses to like your advantage. Like recently there was a triple XP event, and my Obi-Wan, he was level 27 and I got him up to 43 in like 5 games. And like those are like 5 good games, and like that also like taught me how to play Obi-Wan a lot more better, and like it just taught me how to play Obi-Wan, like, and do like his basics and like how to use his abilities and all that. And that's like really important for Battlefront, because each character has like really different abilities and like different styles of play that you need to like learn and adapt to. Along with like the classes and the reinforcements, it's no different to the heroes. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, I hope I made it easier for you guys to play and enjoy Obi-Wan. He's like one of my favorite characters. Like he was one of my mains back when I started like a few months ago, and now like he's just like my favorite for like supremacy and stuff. And if you guys like want this type of video again, like maybe Yoda or like a Sith character or dark side character. Yeah, just like this video, show me that you like this video, comment, do whatever you guys want. And if you made it this far, like, you're a G, like, thank you. And as always, guys, the High Council will decide your fate, and may the Force be with you.